In southern Africa, almost completely surrounded by South Africa, there is a small kingdom that stands apart from nearly every other country on the continent. Today it is officially called the Kingdom of Eswatini, though many people around the world still recognize its former name, Swaziland. It is one of Africa's smallest countries, but its story is far larger than its size. Eswatini is a place where ancient kingship, colonial borders, modern economic pressures, and serious public health challenges all meet in one compact landscape. It is also known for something politically rare. It is Africa's last absolute monarchy, ruled by a king whose authority remains central to the state. Eswatini is landlocked, meaning it has no coastline. Its geography is simple to locate but complex to experience. South Africa borders it on the north, west, and south, while Mozambique lies to the east. At its widest points, the country stretches only about 200 kilometers from north to south and around 130 kilometers from east to west. That makes it the second smallest country in Africa. But small does not mean uniform. Within this limited area, Eswatini contains sharply different climate zones, ranging from cool mountains to hot lowlands. This geographic variety has shaped where people live, how they farm, and how the country connects with its neighbors. The landscape of Eswatini is often described through its elevation zones. In the west, the highveld is cooler, greener, and more mountainous. This is where mist, forests, and rolling hills create a very different environment from what many people imagine when they think of southern Africa. Moving east, the land descends into middleveld and then into lowveld, where the climate becomes hotter and drier. These changes happen over short distances, which gives the country unusual ecological diversity. The terrain also matters economically. Cooler highland areas support some forms of settlement and agriculture, while the lower and warmer areas influence crop choices, livestock patterns, and transport routes toward Mozambique and South Africa. Eswatini has two important capitals, each with a different role. Mbabane is the executive capital and the largest city. It is where much of the country's administration and daily government work is centered. Lobamba, meanwhile, is the legislative capital and holds deep national significance. It is associated with parliament, royal institutions, and major cultural ceremonies. This split reflects the country's blend of modern state administration and traditional authority. Instead of a single capital representing every form of power, Eswatini's political geography shows that official government, monarchy, and cultural identity are closely connected but not always housed in the same place. The people of Eswatini are primarily ethnic Swazis, and the dominant local language is siSwati, often called Swazi in English. Language is more than communication here, it is a major marker of national identity. The name Eswatini itself comes from siSwati and is commonly understood as meaning the land of the Swazis. This matters because the country's modern name is not simply a branding decision. It reflects a deeper effort to center local identity and historical continuity. While English is also used in government and education, siSwati remains central to culture, family life, ceremony, and the everyday sense of belonging. The Swazi kingdom emerged in the mid-18th century under Ngwane III. Over time, the kingdom expanded and consolidated, especially under King Mswati II in the 19th century. The name Swazi and later Swaziland are connected to Mswati II, whose rule helped unify the people and territory. Like many African states, however, Eswatini's modern borders were not shaped only by local history. In 1881, during the European scramble for Africa, colonial powers drew boundaries across the region. These borders helped define the state that would later become modern Eswatini, placing a historical African kingdom inside a colonial map that still influences politics and geography today. After the Second Boer War, Swaziland became a British High Commission territory in 1903. This status was different from becoming a full settler colony, but it still placed the kingdom under British authority. For decades, local monarchy and colonial administration existed in tension, with power divided and negotiated under outside control. Like many territories in Africa, Swaziland moved toward independence in the mid-20th century as colonial empires weakened. On September 6, 1968, it regained full independence. This date marked the birth of the modern sovereign state, but unlike many newly independent African countries that moved toward republican systems, Swaziland retained its monarchy as a central institution. In April 2018, King Mswati III changed the country's official English name from the Kingdom of Swaziland to the Kingdom of Eswatini. The move came during celebrations marking 50 years of independence and the king's 50th birthday. Supporters saw the change as a return to the country's own language and identity, since Eswatini was already widely used in siSwati. The change also reduced confusion with Switzerland, a mix-up that had sometimes occurred internationally because of the similarity between Swaziland and Switzerland. But the renaming also highlighted a larger point. In Eswatini, national identity is closely linked to royal authority and tradition. Eswatini's political system is unusual in the modern world. It is an absolute monarchy, meaning the king holds sweeping power over the state. King Mswati III has ruled since 1986, making him one of the world's longest-serving current monarchs. Elections are held every 5 years for the House of Assembly and Senate majority, but political parties are not allowed to run in the usual party-based way. This creates a political structure very different from multi-party democracies. Eswatini adopted a constitution in 2005, but royal authority remains central. For critics, this limits democratic participation. For defenders, the monarchy represents stability, continuity, and cultural legitimacy. Economically, Eswatini is classified as a developing country with a lower middle-income economy. Its economy is closely tied to the region around it, especially South Africa. This connection is unavoidable because South Africa surrounds most of the country and acts as its main local trading partner. Eswatini is part of the Southern African Customs Union and the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, which helps shape its trade relationships. Its currency, the Lolangeni, is pegged to the South African rand. This peg helps provide stability, but it also shows how dependent Eswatini's economy is on South Africa's financial and trade environment. Most employment in Eswatini comes from agriculture and manufacturing. Agriculture remains important not only as a source of jobs but also as a foundation for rural life. Manufacturing adds another layer to the economy, connecting the country to regional and overseas markets. The United States and the European Union are among Eswatini's major overseas trading partners. The country is also a member of major international organizations, including the Southern African Development Community, the African Union, the Commonwealth of Nations, and the United Nations. These memberships give Eswatini diplomatic visibility, but they do not erase the challenges of a small economy with limited land, regional dependence, and social pressures. One of Eswatini's greatest challenges is public health. The country has been heavily affected by HIV and AIDS, with about 28% of adults HIV positive according to the article's figures. Tuberculosis is also a serious concern, though to a lesser extent. These health issues have shaped families, the workforce, life expectancy, and government priorities. As of 2018, Eswatini had one of the lowest life expectancies in the world, at about 58 years. The population is also very young, around 35% were aged 14 or younger, and the median age was about 22. That means the country's future depends heavily on healthcare, education, and opportunities for young people. Eswatini is easy to overlook on a map, but it is not easy to summarize. It is a small kingdom with dramatic landscapes, a strong cultural identity, and a political system unlike any other in Africa today. Its history connects pre-colonial state-building, colonial rule, independence, and a modern return to an indigenous national name. Its economy relies on regional trade, especially with South Africa, while its society faces major health and development challenges. To understand Eswatini is to see how size does not determine significance. In this compact country, geography, monarchy, culture, and modern pressures are all tightly woven together. If you found this helpful, Please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.